Trench Raid by Compass Games has a 5-raid campaign, but how much could really happen in 5 games? Let's find out here on Legendary Tactics. Like any campaign, we are going to start with Mission 1. And then this mission, we have to first roll to see what type of mission it is. The first roll tells us it will be in the enemy trenches. The second roll says we have to scout the stretch of enemy trench between those 2 dice. I use those to mark the area. Now we start in our home space on our own trench, and here's the cast of characters. We have Rifleman 1 Harding, Bomber 1 Osborne, we have Rifleman 2 Atwood, we have Carrier 1 Baker, and you can see their equipment and stats there. Goodwin is Rifleman 3, Tucker Bomber 2. Some of them are going to be faster or stronger or can shoot better. Wainwright is a pretty good shot, Rifleman 4. Ainsworth is our medic, he's Carrier 2. Hawkins is our officer, he speaks German, which is handy. And our NCO is Chadwick. And so we set up our men, we choose their equipment, and we order them so that we know in what order they're strolling across no man's land. We take a look and we see an empty building straight ahead, so we occupy that and see open ground beyond. So we continue to move straight forward through the open, and this triggers an event, which is Tempting Souvenirs. And I'm just going to show the results of the roll. So if people pass a roll, like a skill check, essentially, I'm only going to show the positive, the ones where we needed to re-roll or use luck points in order to re-roll. So we managed to avoid picking up stuff and dropping valuable equipment, and we move forward, and this is where we hit lingering gas. And for those of you who are playing this game, always bring gas masks. Oh my gosh. And so we're going to spend as many luck points as we possibly can to get our guys out of this one. Whoever has a gas mask anyway, we need to make sure that they have the best chance they can to put on their gas mask in time. We keep rolling poorly because having a helmet or a balaclava actually makes it harder to get the gas mask on, which makes sense, but it's very frustrating when you're trying to get the gas mask on to save your men. We're managing to get these people through. Wainwright needs to spend some luck points, and you just hope that you don't need those luck points later on. I had to burn 2 luck points there because I forgot to spend one earlier. Wainwright makes it through. Osborne takes a serious wound, and that affects all of the stats. Baker's okay, he makes it through. Tucker, unfortunately, and gets a serious chest wound as well. That affects all the stats. Ainsworth's okay. And then Hawkins as well is going to be burning through a lot of luck just to get the rolls that we need. So we still have a commander. Unfortunately, our NCO is out of commission. Now we have to roll for incapacity, and unfortunately Osborne is incapacitated. Tucker was also touched by the gas. Tucker is also incapacitated, and so that's 2 men down. They're not dead, but they're just unable to function. Chadwick's okay, he can function, but obviously very badly hurt. So we're going to allocate Ainsworth the medic and Chadwick for the carry back, so they have an easy chance within the range of where we're at as far as the distance from our home trench. We're fine. They're able to carry back the wounded men, no problem. And we're already down to 6. We've got 2 bombers, Carrier, and the NCO out. And we continue our journey. Just have to keep soldiering on, I guess. We're going to move next into another abandoned house, and that reveals a bit of open land. We're going to go around the barbed wire. Don't want to get hung up on that, so we're going to go over to the open ground, and we discover more barbed wire. We're going to take a little shortcut through the woods, and then we're going to head into the empty crater, the giant crater there, which reveals some further open ground. And as we are in the crater, unfortunately we run into, guess what, more lingering gas. And the die roll leads us to know that the gas is mustard gas, which is a good thing. It's less severe. It does risk blindness, however. So Harding missed the roll, and so we re-roll for Harding. Harding successfully gets out of the way. Goodwin also rolls and unfortunately misses. And the risk is if you miss with all of your dice, you get a botch roll, and that can potentially, if you roll a 1, can in this case lead to blindness and incapacitation. Goodwin gets out of the way. Wainwright uses up all of his luck and doesn't pass, so we roll the botch die and we're fine. So again, burned up some luck there, but at least we're across this crater now, and we're able to find some woods to hide in. I see a route through that small crater. Now we almost get lost in the dark. However, Atwood happens to bring a compass. It's a fairly easy roll to keep the team from getting lost in the dark, as if you have a compass. So we move to the next woods over, and that opens up to show that we've got open ground all around us. So we're going to move into the open ground here, and that causes another check for getting lost in the dark. There's a lot of chaos in no man's land, and the roll is fine, so we're not lost in the dark. And we dive into the next crater. Craters are, I guess, good cover in some ways, but there's a lot of events, and Sniper is the next event. Sniper goes after Rifleman 1, the first one in line, but Harding actually has a balaclava, so he's not able to be spotted very easily. Unfortunately, the second in line, Atwood, takes the shot. It's a serious wound, and it's actually an arm wound, which we find out after the roll. And this is going to limit shooting, fighting, throwing, and just overall strength. So might not be able to carry back a wounded comrade very easily. And then every other soldier in the line gets a shot at trying to get the sniper, and Baker rolls an amazing roll, ends up getting the sniper. And it's a bit unclear from this visual, but we're rolling to see about Atwood's potential incapacitation, and the roll finally lands on a 1. Atwood is incapacitated. We're going to try and carry him back. Baker's going to make that attempt, totally ruins the roll, totally botches it, but we'll use some luck to get a reroll, and we're good because we're at a bit more of a distance. We have to have a little bit more of a successful attempt in order to get our man back to the line. So now we're down to 4 men on the mission still. We're in the crater. We'll take a look around. There's an empty building straight ahead, so we're going to jump into that, hopefully avoiding events. And we do, and there's some more open ground ahead of us. We're going to charge into that open ground, and that triggers a lost in the dark event. But with the compass, we're good. We make it no problem, even with the 4 of us. With that, we dive into the crater, hopefully getting a respite from all these nasty events. And unfortunately, we do run into an event, and it is lingering gas. What type of gas? It is phosgene chlorine. So Harding gets a reroll here to see if he can get his mask on in time. He does. Wainwright tries, and unfortunately does not get his gas mask on in time, takes a serious wound, and unfortunately, I think I marked this wrong. I think it should have been a chest wound and should have been all stats. Hawkins as well needed to reroll and missed it, and so takes a chest wound, which affects all the stats. I don't know why I'm circling the wrong ones there. I think it's all the stats for the chest wound. And we roll for incapacitation, and we roll a 2. So Wainwright is out of order. Hawkins is also out of order, incapacitated. Terrible rolls. So Harding is now going to try and haul Hawkins back and is unable to do so. The strength roll fails, and Hawkins ends up KIA. Harding ends up lost in no man's land. And in this case, we try and take Wainwright out, unfortunately left behind. There's the final map. Game over, mission aborted. We did not make it across to the enemy trench, sadly. So now we roll to see what happens to these people. Chadwick actually recovers and is ready to go for the next mission, miraculously. So we have our NCO, which is great. And sadly, we erase Hawkins. Unfortunately, we never got to use his skill in speaking German, which can be really handy if you run into any raiding parties or what have you in No Man's Land. Harding is lost, but he is found. After a couple rolls, we find out that he does suffer a light wound, but that light wound heals before the next mission. It's not a big deal. So Harding is good to go for next time. For Atwood, we roll to see what happens there, and Atwood actually recovers. So the wound, serious wound that incapacitated him, he gets better, and I'm sure he's thrilled, but he's headed back out into No Man's Land in a future mission. And for Goodwin, Goodwin was left behind and unfortunately does not make it. And we check with Wainwright. Wainwright also unfortunately does not make it. And we mark Wainwright as KIA and begin the slow process of erasing his existence. But he will be preserved forever in this video, so his memory will live on. And we begin to erase Goodwin as well. So just taking the end of the marker and erasing everything there. So anyway, that is the sad fate of some of these soldiers. Now for Osborne, Osborne rolls pretty well, and even though he's incapacitated with a chest wound, he actually recovers, ready to go for the next mission. Baker was one of the gentlemen carrying him back, so we just erased the CB for that. Tucker also does surprisingly well. The chlorine gas and phosgene gas, even though it was everywhere on that map, apparently didn't do a ton of damage. Ainsworth was the carry back person there, so I always mark them as CB. And that is the first mission in the 5-mission campaign. We hope you'll join us next time for Mission 2 here on Legendary Tactics.